Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336. Welcome. It's been a while.
It's been a couple of weeks. Remember, for at least 10 years, we would start and tell people all the time, hey, we've never missed a week.
Right.
But now life gets in the way.
What do you attribute this, our latest sporadic podcasting to? The Orioles struggles, the rise in ticket prices, school nights, and traffic and dangers in the city of Baltimore. What's to blame here?
What's the blame for 336?
Yeah.
I think Little League.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's your Little League schedule.
Yeah. Silas he plays twice a week, and like the games now are 7:30 is when the game starts.
Yeah.
And so they end at about like 8:45 or 9. And so we don't get home till after 9.
Yeah, and I think you're busy with school being in session and preparing classes. My thing is I end up podcasting all day during the day that like I don't feel like podcasting at night.
You're a little podcast out.
But I want to do 336. It's why we snuck it in daytime a few times there.
Yeah, I think that's on your end, and on my end, the work stuff too. There's a transition happening at the college level that I'm experiencing firsthand, where I'm teaching more and more in the evenings and meeting with students more and more in the evenings.
Is that a like college transition that colleges are starting to offer more evening classes?
Yes, because the deal is for a couple of reasons. One is we're attracting a lot more now working adults who, especially with a of education, who went in other tracks and now they want to get into teaching, and they have families, they have jobs, and now we're dealing with that population a lot more.
Well, good for them. I used to be that type of guy. I used to think, hey, maybe I should go back and actually graduate college, and then I talk myself out of it and say I'm good.
Yeah, and the other aspect of it is when you go online, you can attract students who aren't just in Macon, right? So you can get students from different locations and have them pay Mercer even if they're not in Macon.
And if you go evenings, you can hit that West Coast, get that West Coast money.
Yeah, we haven't actually expanded outside of, like, all my students are Georgia. Like, we haven't expanded outside of Georgia yet.
Okay.
So there's but
goals.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I think part of your problem, Josh, is 336 used to be the only space and area for you to air out some of your opinions.
Oh, totally.
And now you have the Michael Mara show.
It's
where you can air out your opinions. So this podcast has become less important for you.
It may have. And part of it is that it's Orioles off season. And Orioles off season, a lot of times for us, when we weren't doing like the Buffalo Wild Wings, like football talk shows, 336 has become off season. Like, let's talk about what's going on in our lives. And you're right. I have the Mike O'Mara show now every day. I do 5 episodes of that a week, then maybe an extra, which is 6. And I do Hicks Nicks, which is 7 podcasts I could be doing a week. Plus, there's other podcasts I produce that I'm not on the air with. But you're right. That it's much easier to go and complain over there about some frustrating thing in my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be even more reliant on you, I feel like, for my Orioles talking discussion, because I think I shared this with you a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. I've completely unplugged from social media and stuff. I still go on Facebook on my laptop. I log into Facebook so I can control my sister and stuff, keep with events. But like, I literally haven't been on Twitter or Instagram in weeks. So I don't even, and that was Twitter was my main way to see, okay, what are Oriole fans thinking? I've been unplugged from that for a while. So even with the new hire we'll get to, and some of the action around the Orioles, like, I have no idea what people are thinking and talking about. So I'm curious to get your takes on some of this stuff.
Well, that'd be great. I'm excited. How is things with Little League? People love the Little League talk.
Yeah. Things things are really good. I shared with you, Josh, and we haven't been on since this happened, but 2 weekends ago, Silas hit his first home run over the fence.
I took the video to the Mike O'Mara show and shared because I was so excited for Silas.
It was
amazing.
It was pretty wild. I mean, he's 8. You just don't have 8-year-olds hit the ball over the fence very often. But it was also like Silas is a big kid and a lot of power. At this age, the biggest kids can hit the ball the furthest. Just he has the biggest bat. He's so it's just. But every time we play at one of these travel ball fields where the fences are pushed in a little bit, like they're not deep fences. I think it was 150 feet to right in left field.
But he's 8.
But he's 8. Like, and he was the only person on his team to ever hit a home run. There's no one else in this tournament that was at to hit a home run.
Fence, he hit that dead center, and he hit it 20 feet past the fence.
Yeah. But there's always been pressure on Silas because they know he's the only one that really has a shot. So they're always like, Silas, you got to hit home run. So there's always been like this pressure on Silas. Every time we play, they're like, if someone's going to hit a home run, it's got to be you, Silas. You can hit a home run. And so he hears this all the time. And he finally did. He finally hit a home run. And I showed you the video of him celebrating. Yes. I didn't show you in the dugout. Like, he was emotional.
I wish I was there.
Just because, I mean, it has to be an amazing feeling, right? All your teammates on top of you. You did this thing that people knew you could do, but I don't know if he knew he could do it.
No, I never hit a home run over the fence until I was like 30, maybe.
That's what I told Silas. I said I was 33, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was 33.
I was definitely felt like I was in my 30s.
Yeah, I definitely was in my 30s for my first over the fence home run. And for me, from the dad perspective, it was so funny because, I mean, every dad on the team ran up to me and like slapped me on the back, give me a high five, saying we're gonna go. Like, I hit the home run. One dad came running from the outfield like a full-on sprint, waving his hand in the air. He had the ball, and so he gave me the home run ball.
That's awesome. Right up here. I'm glad you got the ball.
Yeah. And so it was just a really fun, cool event. It was also against the context is pretty cool too, because it was against the team that we lost to in the previous tournament in the championship game. We lost to them.
Yeah, so
it was this big rematch game. The first at bat, we were down 3-0. He came with two runners on, and he struck out. He struck out in coach pitch. Like, this is coach pitch, and he struck out, which is embarrassing.
This is like a Casey at the bat situation.
Yeah, and so I have mixed feelings. Whenever he strikes out, I have mixed feelings. Like, part of me is like mad because this was a big moment in the game, and this would cost us the game against this rival that we have. The other part of me is like feels bad for him that he struck out. The other part is like, I'm just curious. Like, I'm kind of glad to see him face some failure. I'm curious to see how is he going to react. Is he going to go to the dugout and cry about it? Like what's he going to do after striking out? But he was fine. And he came back up his next time up and hit a RBI single to driving 2 runs. And next time up, hit a home run. So bounced back. And so just had a great game, and we ended up going to the championship and winning. And he had that home run. So yeah, it was pretty. And that was the last tournament too of the season of the year. So it was a pretty good way to end it.
So that's cool. I don't think I told you, with my senior softball, with my old man softball, I broke my softball bat.
Oh.
Last season, on the last game of the season, I swung and the top of the bat split and cracked. So it's a trash bat.
Okay.
And but when I got this bat, it's an axe bat. And when I got it, they accidentally sent me an end loaded version. So it's like heavier on the top. And they then corrected and sent me the proper one.
Is it similar to a torpedo bat? I don't know. Like a torpedo?
I don't know. It's to get you more power because it's heavier swinging around like an axe head.
Right.
So I had this one and I don't use it. I don't like it. But my bat broke, so I had to use this end loaded bat.
Sure.
So I've been using it for weeks, and I suck, and it sucks, and I'm so frustrated that I went into the garage this week, and I said, "This is ridiculous. I want to buy a senior bat because then I get to use the bats that everyone would throw out of the softball leagues we were in because they've got too much pop or then allowed when you're too old." But
there's not team bats here. You can't borrow a bat.
No,
everyone's got their own bat.
Everyone's got their own bat, so I don't want to ask to borrow a bat. So I went in the garage and I found my Mikan Freak 98. So what's that? 27-year-old baseball bat,
Okay.
softball bat. I stuck it in my bag. I went out the past 2 weeks. All I do is hit line drives.
Oh,
I don't
really?
swing for the fence. It's line drive, line drive, line drive. I get on every time. And now I'm like totally like this whole bat thing's a scam. This one that I used that I bought 27 years ago is still killing it for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I could buy into bats are a scam. I could buy into that. I think a lot of it's mental stuff.
I think there's some mental stuff there, definitely.
Yeah.
Except for the torpedo bats.
Yeah, the torpedo bats are legit. Though remember when I guess the Yankees did have a lot of home runs. But I remember
that calmed down real
training,
fast.
we thought they would hit 1 million home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, that calmed down real fast.
Yeah, and everyone would have a torpedo bat. That did calm down. I didn't hear any torpedo bat talk in the World Series.
Well, the Yankees weren't there.
Yeah, but there was. I mean, Yankees aren't the only.
Was this the best World Series ever?
No.
No?
I think the only reason that didn't. Here's my reason why it didn't make it the best World Series, because it was the Dodgers and Blue Jays. The games themselves, you can make that argument. I was just mad with who's in there, but I was mad
too. I didn't plan on watching these games, but then when the game goes into 11, 12/18 innings, you have to turn it on and watch. Then when game 7 goes into extras, you got to sit in and watch.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't just that. I mean, I bash the teams because I don't like either team, but the star elements were there. I mean, Vlad Guerrero Jr., like he's a superstar. Of course, Ohtani, like the entire pitching staff of the Dodgers. They just a lot
rookie,
of
the rookie pitcher for the
Savage,
Blue Jays.
Yeah, Savage. Yeah.
He
started this season in Single A.
How does that happen? Why can that magic not happen in Baltimore?
Yeah. Well, who knows? If we would have made the playoffs, maybe it would have.
Oh, really? Did we have someone from Single A that made it all the way up to Double A or Triple A to see if he could make a start?
Maybe. That's Elias's argument. You just got to get in the playoffs, then magical things happen.
No, that guy spent all season going up level to level to level because he had something special going on. We don't have any pitchers that have something special going on.
Oh, I don't think that's fair, Josh. We have had some fast risers in the minors. Basayo and Jackson Holiday. I mean, they got here 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, and Manny Machado.
Or go back in the day, Machado, sure.
Yeah, but how about pitchers?
Well, if you never draft pitchers, it's hard to have fast risers.
All right, you're right.
So
you're right. What do you think of the stuck ball on the wall? Crap play? Smart baseball move?
I'm disconnected. That's just a normal baseball thing. Is there controversy about that?
Well, I mean, it's just that it happened in the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, that happens all the time. You throw your hands up and it is what it is. I mean, I think it was pretty cool to see. I mean, the Dodgers have all those stars and the unlikeliest of heroes, right? Hits the home run to send the game into extra innings and then makes that great play thrown to home.
A lot of excitement.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't even the 18-inning game. I didn't stay up for it, obviously, but
but the highlights were fun. I almost
woke up for it.
Yeah.
But even like watching the condensed game and all the highlights, it wasn't like you think 18 innings, you think, oh, this is going to be like there was base runners it was like 30 runners left on base. There was base runners every inning. So it was like, it wasn't
and that's
even
without starting at second.
Yeah.
No ghost runner.
Yeah.
So it was a great time.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, it was, I mean, it was good. I found myself at the beginning of the series rooting for the Dodgers and I transitioned over to root for the Blue Jays. And then, I mean, I was kind of happy to see Jeff Hoffman, who I don't like, blow the save, but I was hoping that the Blue Jays would come back and win that one. And there was some talk too in the press conference for the new Orioles manager about, the Blue Jays going from worst to World Series champs, or I'm sorry, World Series runner-ups, and kind of a roadmap perhaps for the Orioles as well in the AL East to mimic what the Blue Jays did this past year.
All right, so now as we get into Orioles, there's been sign-ins and everything this week, and the season's over. We're definitely in full swing, off swing. Is it best to start with Albernaz?
Yeah, let's get into Craig Albernaz. I mean, that's the big news, I think. We knew the Orioles were looking for a manager. I'm glad they jumped on this quick because there's a bunch of teams looking for managers.
Yeah.
And we addressed this thing pretty quickly. Yeah, so I'm curious to get your take on, I mean, I watched the press conference. I read what other people said about him, and so I've done a good bit of research on this Greg Albernaz guy. Josh, what's your initial take? I know you were rooting for Adam Jones. What's your initial take on this deal?
I love this move. It's a young guy. It's a guy that doesn't have experience managing, but he has respect in Major League Baseball. And the funny thing is, it reminds me so much of the hiring of Brandon Hyde, which I hated. So I don't know. I think the guy's got a good personality. I love that he dragged his whole family out. I love that his kids have a similar haircut as mine. So maybe that style's coming back with a little faux hawk. I like that Rubenstein was at the press conference too. You didn't see that in previous years with Angelos. I like that.
And not only that, Josh, real quick for the Rubenstein, he said him and the ownership group was part of the hiring process. So they were involved in getting Craig here. And so that was interesting too. They seem to be, I think when this ownership group initially signed on, we thought maybe they'd be hands-off. They seem to be pretty hands-on. I think they were hands-on. We speculate they were hands-on for the firing of Brandon Hyde, and it seemed like they were hands-on for the hiring of Craig Albernaz.
Yeah, totally agree. He's 43 years old. He definitely has a Boston accent, so that takes a little adjusting too. But just because it's odd to see out of an Oriole.
Yeah.
And I think Albernaz is excited to be here. Albernaz believes, at least he projects that he believes in this team and these young guys. And it seems like Mike Elias is handing over more control to Albernaz than he did to Brandon Hyde, which I like to see. Just from what I was reading about, I did not watch the press conference, but from what I was reading and people talking about how Elias believes in him, Rubenstein believes in him, and they really think that he can go in and kind of look at the Orioles with a different kind of philosophy.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a good take.
I think he sucked up a little bit by saying, when speaking about analytics, he said, well, the analytics show that the Orioles' struggles in 2025 were because of injury. But he went to talk about a diverse offense. And I don't really know what he means by a diverse offense. So I'm curious to see what that means.
Well, hopefully it means an offense that strikes out less.
I think it would mean an offense that's not all or nothing. Like, let's not all swing for the fence.
Yeah. So some things I like about him, I think he just seems, first impression, to have a good baseball face. I kind of like his face.
He's got a baseball face. He's a young guy, but he looks like a baseball guy.
Yeah, he's older than me. I appreciate that too. He's older than me.
He's younger than me.
Yeah. I like the bald head. I'm okay with the bald head. It seems like that was, I don't know if that's a choice, or I assume it's not a choice. I don't think people are bald by choice. So I assume
there's a point where you give up, where you say, well, I'm going to accept the bald head versus patchy hair.
Yeah. Did Brandon Hyde, I'm trying to remember, I feel like he had some patchy hair up there. I feel like he didn't fully shave it off.
I don't know. I only think of Brandon Hyde with a hat on. Just like this guy. I don't care if you're bald, you're going to be wearing an Orioles hat.
Yeah, I feel like maybe there were some patches on Brandon Hyde, but this guy's bald as a cue ball. I like that.
I like that he's been on winning teams. He was in Cleveland. He was in when they were winning. He was on the Rays when they were winning. I like all that.
Yeah. The other thing, and there's a couple things I don't like, but the other thing I like is, to that point, not only has he been on other teams, all the other coaches and people around him have nothing but good things to say about him.
Yes.
And I think this is an important point because any time you're applying for a job, and I've been on both ends, right? And we've all been on both ends where we've applied for jobs and we've also been on the hiring process. And I have a couple people, for me, within like college education, there's a couple people who I've put on my kind of rec list who would literally like do anything to get me hired. They would say all the nicest things in the world about me. And frankly, it would all be true and they would believe it. And if they needed to fly here, whatever, they would do it. And when I'm writing recommendations for students, because I do this a lot, students apply for jobs after they graduate or apply to grad school, I write recommendations. And there's some students who I say to schools and principals, and even principals call me all the time and I talk to them. And there's some students who I say, listen, this person is amazing. You need this person in your school. They'll make you better. They'll make everyone better. And there's some other people who I say, this student is a good student. I think she'll be a good teacher. Right. But it's not to the point where I'm saying you need to hire this person.
Right.
Josh, Stephen Vogt, he literally came to Baltimore for the press conference.
Stephen Vogt said that Albernaz is the hardest working guy in baseball, that he stays up all night diving into every little detail to try to get a little tick better. And he said the best part, I believe it was Vogt that also said, as much as a baseball guy he is, he's an even better person, which goes back to what I've been saying that these young players need, is that type of mentor, that type of leader.
Yeah. Here's the quote, because I wrote that quote down too, Josh. Here's what Vogt said. He's the hardest worker I've ever been around. That's from a guy who's coached in the league.
Yes.
For a while, has been around a lot of players and coaches, and he's saying not he's the hardest coach, he's the hardest worker.
I've got this quote from a minor league coach. The attitude, the aptitude, the work ethic, that's Craig. He is selfless. I can't say enough about the quality of this person. Craig is a leader from the minute he walks into the room. People follow him.
Yeah.
That's what I want from a coach.
What? And Stephen Vogt, who he went on to say that Craig's going to absolutely crush it and bring people together and create an unbelievable winning culture in Baltimore.
And that's what when you laugh at me for Adam Jones, it was my whole thing was to build the culture in that clubhouse. So that's what excites me about that.
Yeah. And listen, people weren't bashing Tony Mantilani. People weren't bashing Brandon Hyde. But the praise was not quite effusive as the praise has been for Craig Albernaz across the league. So everyone thinks this was a slam dunk hire. In fact, it seems like he interviewed with the Nationals last year. Both the White Sox and the Marlins, from what I read, were ready to give him the job.
Yes,
and he didn't want to take it because he was happy with the Guardians.
Yeah, which means he wants to be in Baltimore. He sees the excitement that this team can win. Yeah. Which I totally get. Of course you turn down the White Sox from the Marlins. You wait for the opportunity that you think you can win with, and he thinks that's in Baltimore. Makes total sense.
It is a good gig in Baltimore, it sounds like. Yeah.
It is. I love. Did you see during the press conference when they asked if he talked to any players yet?
Yeah, I saw that.
And he said he talked to 6 or 7. Did you see why he talked to those 6 or 7?
No, I didn't.
His kids. His kids were pushing him. Call Gunnar Henderson. Call Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
His kids love baseball, so they love these guys. I just love I love his family. I am so excited for this guy to be the manager of the Orioles. I love that he was not on anyone's radar. Inside of baseball, he was on people's radar.
Yeah, everyone knows him inside of baseball.
Right, but no reporters were writing about this guy as an option. Yeah. I love this move.
Yeah. Before I get to my two downsides of him, I watched an interview. I listened to an interview with him after the press conference. He went on WBAL and was interviewed. And he talked about conversations with players. And he said the two things that stuck out to him with talking on the phone with these players is, one, their desire to want to win and kind of take the game to the next level. And two, their desire to just how much they just love playing with one another. Which I think comes across here. I think we can criticize the play on the field, but I think we all agree, our core group gets along really well together, and they want to win.
And he spoke about that.
Yeah.
With that clubhouse, he said, we're with each other for 162 games, more than we see our own families. So this has to be a place where guys want to show up every day.
Yeah.
Then he went on talking about
162 games. If you're O'Neal, it might be 10 games, but everyone else, yeah. Oh,
but
we'll pick up with that later too.
He said players play their best when they're loose, when they're having fun, and when they feel connected. Because this is still a kid's game. We just played on the biggest stage.
Yeah, I don't know about that quote. That makes me.
I love that quote. I think that leads right into the clubhouse. All right, well then,
Earl Weaver would not approve of that quote. Earl Weaver
would
not appreciate that quote.
No, But
They need discipline.
all right, well, how about this for some discipline? When you tell a player the truth, he might be mad at you for a day, but if you lie to him, you'll lose him forever. I feel like that's a bumper sticker, but that's a good teacher quote that I like for the clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that on a wall somewhere.
Yes.
Put on a poster. Yeah. A couple of concerns, a couple of red flags. You mentioned both these red flags. One is the accent. We got to do something about that.
Yeah. See, the Boston accent. So
the New England Boston accent. It's a little bit too heavy. You got to
It is very heavy. It is very heavy. Yes.
Yeah. The other thing is, he did talk a lot about his family. Brought is the daughter's name really Gigi, or is that a nickname?
No, the daughter's name is Gigi.
That's a little bit of a yellow flag for me?
Yeah,
I kid's name.
I checked that multiple times to make sure I read that properly.
Is that maybe a family name, perhaps?
I think that's probably a family name. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But I prefer, Josh. Actually, my take on this is, and maybe because I'm watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix with Jimmy Johnson. But I prefer my managers to be divorced or to not have families, because I want them 100% all in, focused on winning. And I feel like he said a quote about how, the family keeps them grounded because they don't care whether win.
Yes, my kids are the greatest gift. Yes.
Yeah. I want the kids to boo him when he comes in after a loss. And frankly, I want him to be sleeping at the warehouse. Now he's sitting game tape all day, that his wife leaves him because he's in love so much with the sport of baseball. So I look at families and coaches as red flags.
See, the way I see it is his kids, his boys, they love the game of baseball. They're pushing him to reach out to these kids, to these players. These kids are going to be around the clubhouse. These kids are going to be around Camden Yards.
They're saying, Dad, keep going, watch more game tape here, Dad.
No, get ready. This is the new Ripkins.
Ah, the Ripken family.
This is the Ripken family.
I thought the holidays were going to do it, but maybe the Albernaz are going to swoop in there.
Well, they're split up between multiple teams. So it's a little hard.
We can fix that. So, yeah, I feel as you do, and I think from listening, to some of the local talk radio I listen to, I'm not plugged into social media anymore, so I don't have that vantage point. But I feel like, and just listen to national reporters, I feel like everyone agrees this sounds like the best hire we've put in. I'm also, part of me is also just a sigh of relief we didn't hire Albert Pujols.
Totally, me too. I didn't want Pujols. I never wanted Pujols.
Or some other unexperienced manager who's never done before. And so we have a competent manager who's well-spoken. And I also, listen, I'm glad we didn't go with Tony either. I feel like this was a fresh blood situation needed, a fresh voice. And it sounds like he's going to be a really good fresh voice. I might be singing a different tune in October, but right now, this sounds like a really good hire.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is a new page turn of the Orioles organization. Yeah. That this is Rubenstein putting his mark on the manager.
Well, and it's Josh, this is I was thinking about this today, how crucial of a time this is for the Orioles organization, right? You had this young team tanking for all these top draft picks. They're here, right? It's worked. We got all these young stars. Last year was a disaster. This year is going to determine if the whole thing was a disaster, right? Like if we, again, missed the playoffs this year, it might be time to explore trading some of these players, blowing it all up. Like this was a failure. And on the other hand, last year could have just been a blip on the radar, a little setback on our road to where we wanted onto liftoff. Just a little blip in liftoff, a little engine trouble, but now we're back at liftoff. And so this year's just seems so crucial. And so I'm glad we have a guy who feels like the right fit in this crucial year.
Yeah. Did you see Rubenstein asked about the fact that Albernaz has never played in the majors?
No.
And Dave Rubenstein spoke to every Oriole fan's heart, where he said, we had a manager before who never played in the major leagues named Earl Weaver. And Earl was also not a tall person. He was a little shorter than our
they
manager.
were on Craig's height too.
Yeah. And then Albernaz said, you nailed it, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't think the playing in the majors thing, I think, is one of the most, both as like a commentator and a coach, is one of the
It's
most
so silly.
He played for years in the minors. It's not like
Right.
he's never picked up a baseball, but
And
he's
he's
a
been
catcher
coaching
in the
for
minors
years.
for years.
Right.
And I also think there's something true to the fact that, players
If you
who are
don't play,
super-
teach.
Yes, yeah, those who are super gifted and talented, where it comes naturally to them, sometimes have a hard time coaching because they
Yeah.
have all this natural God-given gifts that these other players don't. And
Oh, I
clearly
totally
Craig
agree.
didn't have all the natural gifts, or he would have been in the majors.
Yep. All right. So you ready to talk some players?
Well, no, before we get to the players,
All right.
you mentioned Rubenstein and some of the
Yes.
the things. I got to talk about this. He also, in the same press conference with Craig, talked about the finances, and we got to talk about this, Josh.
Yes.
This is the whole deal.
He didn't say, let's spend a ton of money.
Here's the quote. Here's the first part of the quote and the second part of the quote, and I feel like I wish I just heard the first part and didn't hear the second part. But here's the first part. He said, "We have the resources to acquire the players that we need to make the team work."
Yep. Leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it there. Shut up. Turn off his mics.
No. It's good. He continues. "We don't have particular financial constraints."
All right. Good. All right. Mic's still on.
There's
No.
more.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
No. Turn this part up. Turn up the mic.
All right. Hold on. There's a point where he's going to cross the line. I see it coming.
We have an investor group that's pretty deep pocketed.
All right. I like that.
And so we're able to do what we need to do.
All right.
And here's the
I see
last
you,
part of
Mr.
this quote.
Cohen.
And so we will do that.
All right. There we go. There's no backside.
No, here's another part. Here's the next part.
No, see, stop it there. I knew it. I knew you were going to give me great news. And now here's but there's no need to open our wallets.
No, the first part of the bad news, or the first part of the other news, begins with a name. And you know what name he's going with?
A team or a player?
Michael
What
Elias.
type of name? Michael Elias. Oh,
Michael
no.
Elias has a lot of authority to go out and find the best players that we can get. And of course, it's not always the case that the highest payroll wins. Clearly, the last couple of years, that's probably been the case, but it's not always the case.
All right.
So, and then here's the last part of the quote.
Hold on. I want to ask about that part.
Yeah.
Is he throwing Michael Elias under the bus there? Is he saying, we've got all the money? I don't know why Michael Elias isn't signing big names.
Well, if this offseason, Josh, we don't spend money, he's clearly saying here.
He's told Michael Elias he can.
Yeah. Mike has been given permission to spend the money.
And we've talked on here, I'm pretty sure we've talked about our theory that maybe Michael Elias is so cocky that he wants to prove that he can do it different and he can do it his way without spending all the money.
Yeah.
That it's an ego thing.
Yeah, but here Mike has the authority.
Yes.
So if Mike doesn't do it, if Mike doesn't sign any big free agent,
it's on Mike.
It's on Mike.
Yes.
Completely on Mike.
Yes.
Not on ownership. Ownership is ready to spend.
Yep. It's on Elias.
And so if I'm Mike Elias, by the way, if I'm Mike Elias, I'm sitting here in this
test it.
I hear him say this. It makes me a bit uncomfortable because the reality of it is, Josh, even giving Mike credit that he wants to get these top free agents.
Yeah.
Wanting to get a top free agent doesn't mean you get the top free agent, right? Like they have to want to. We saw this with Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
They have to want to come here too.
Yes.
And so now there's just a lot of more pressure now on Mike, I think, because,
well,
it's not like just because you have the money, you will necessarily get the player that you want.
All right. Well, Mike, I cannot wait for you to announce Cody Bellinger and Pete Alonso for this year.
Yeah. And so the quote goes on. So we don't feel the need to break records by setting payroll records.
Yeah, because look how that worked out for the Dodgers. What a failure.
Yeah. But we think we want to get good players who want to be part of an organization that is really very cohesive, a part of helping to rebuild Baltimore.
All right.
The first, I should have cut the mic after the first.
I told you, you have to cut the mics. These guys talk too much.
Yeah.
Even if you left it to, I told Mike Elias he could go spend all the money in the world and then cut it.
Yeah.
And then he just threw Mike Elias under the bus.
Yeah, but there was a lot of throughout. With that said, throughout this press conference from Craig, like Craig said, Mike has full power over the roster, and Mike is really good at that part.
Yes.
And Rubenstein said about Mike winning, I think, GM of the year and the promotion. They asked about the promotion, and he said he's kind of shy. Said Michael Elias is shy or something. But everyone was very kind of heaping on praise for Michael Elias throughout this press conference. So I don't think Michael Elias is on the hot seat at all.
No. They have all accepted the fact that injuries ruined last year.
Right.
So there's no pressure on Elias.
Right. But Rubenstein and his team is clearly involved in what's happening here. And so if they don't see any movement, now that we know he's been given authority to sign big free agents, I would be shocked if we don't see one or two big names, not just rumored about, but actually signed with the Orioles based on this conversation. And if
100%.
we don't, I think Michael Elias is going to have to answer some questions to the ownership group.
Yes, agreed. I totally agree.
All right.
I think that was, if not throwing him under the bus, putting a little pressure on.
Yeah,
like, don't cry poor.
Yeah, the message could not be clearer. The answer this offseason is not, is not Jordan Lyles, right? The answer is not some washed up fifth starter who's 38 years old.
Oh, really?
Whether he's from America or Japan. That's not the answer.
So you mean we haven't, we're going to get to players in a few minutes, but you mean we haven't solved our issues yet? Michael Elias hasn't done enough in the first week.
I actually liked what he's done.
I do too, but they're not answers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying here was like last offseason, our big free agent signings was what? Sagano, Barry Sanchez,
and Tyler O'Neill.
Like it's got to be a little bit better.
Oh, and we got another Morton, Charlie Morton.
Oh yeah, Charlie Morton. Thank you,
Charlie Morton.
Yeah, we got to do a little bit better than that.
Yes,
this offseason.
Please. Yeah. All right, now can we talk about players this week?
All right, sure.
All right,
you got
Tyler O'Neill.
2 minutes left.
Took his option. That we expected that. We've been saying that because Tyler O'Neill would not make. He had a bad year. He won't make that money anywhere else.
Right. When you only play 5 games, people don't want to pay you. I don't know why.
Are you going to bet on an opening day home run from Tyler O'Neill?
Absolutely, you have to.
You have to do it at this point.
He'll be injured by week 7. Whatever is the over under total home runs, bet the under. But home run.
But just opening day. All right. The Orioles declined the club option. You know who they declined?
Yeah, I do. Jorge Mateo.
Jorge Mateo.
Yeah.
Do you think Jorge Mateo stays in Baltimore?
I don't think this shuts the door on it.
I don't think it shuts the door either. I think you could get him cheaper. Now, we do have more depth now, so there is a chance he goes someplace else, and that's why you're willing to not give him the option and kind of just see if you can get him cheaper. But
yeah, I think the question for Jorge Mateo is there a roster spot for him on some is there a major league roster spot for him? Because I think if he signs with us, he's going to be playing most of his days at AAA unless there's an injury.
Agreed.
And so if he can find a spot on a 26-man roster, I think he'll take that.
But if he can't, seems like a good guy. So
I like him as a depth piece, but I also like that we're saying no, we can do better than Jorge Mateo. I also like that.
All right,
I think that's what this says.
All right, I agree. Next on my list, Dietrich Enns. That we gave him a deal for 2025 or for 2026 with a club option for 2027. I love this move.
I know you like him for some weird reason.
Enns turned out to be our only reliable guy in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think that says more about our bullpen than Enns, but yeah.
I also love the story of Enns, of going and pitching overseas in Japan, in Korea, and then coming back.
Yeah, I like players who have like 5-year, 6-year gaps in their baseball reference page.
Yes.
Like they just dropped off the face of the earth for 5 years and then comes back. I appreciate those
There's
stories.
a story there.
Yeah, he's a gamer. Yeah.
All right.
So, and he pitched well for us. I think we certainly are going to have a lot of holes in the bullpen we need to fill. So it makes sense.
I think he's an arm to have in there.
Yeah.
All right. Josh Walker.
Who?
Josh Walker.
Okay,
You don't know who Josh Walker is?
I don't know anything about Josh Walker.
It's another left-hand. It's a left-handed pitcher. We gave a 1-year deal too.
Okay.
He has a 4.39 ERA over 174 AAA innings. Nothing special.
All right.
So, I guess he was with the Orioles, and he left for the Mets and Blue Jays, and then he came back.
Okay.
So nothing there. All right. We made a trade.
Yeah, I like this trade.
We traded cash considerations, which I never know what that is.
No one
It all
knows.
depends on how good the guy does, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
But we got back Andrew Kittredge, which I love this on twofold. I love it because I like Andrew Kittredge in our pen. And two, I love the trade that we made this season, sending Andrew Kittredge away to bring in some minor league players and depth, and now we get him back for cash. So I think we already know Batista's going to be out all next year. Is Kittredge the option?
yeah, Batista could be out for the next 100 years.
Him and Grayson going to go retire somewhere together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Batista ever. I mean, I think this is a really bad with Batista, so I don't know. But the I don't see Kittredge as. I hope Kittredge is not our closer going into the season.
I think at minimum he's a setup guy.
Nah, he's a 7th inning guy. The 8th and 9th inning guy aren't on the team yet.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, but this is a good. You're right. Like we got what
That's
was
right.
De Cruz or something, Wilfred De Cruz, De La Cruz. We got him, and this is the ideal situation. Let's do the same thing with Ryan O'Hearn. Let's sign all these guys to 1-year deals, trade them, then sign them right back, so you get the piece. And then, I mean, this is what the Orioles want to do to begin with. They gave him a second-year option, and so it's just like they're picking up the second-year option, but they also got this 18-year-old shortstop prospect somehow in this deal as well. So yeah, it's a good deal. I think. Kittredge is a good bullpen arm, so yeah, it makes sense. I know it's just funny the way he pitches
with his arms out, his little stare down.
No, he doesn't. No, he's like
no. Oh, that's the other guy.
Yeah,
that's not Kittredge.
Yeah, he's like what's his nickname? Like the drunk uncle or something.
Yeah.
That kind of this laid back.
Little like yeah. I was getting him and the other guy confused. All right, tell me what you know about George Soriano.
I saw that news that he was just claimed off waivers.
Yeah.
And he sounds like a guy that's going to be dropped and picked up off waivers about 6 more times before this offseason ends.
I think he might be. I know his name only because he was a jumbo shrimp, so I saw him here in Jacksonville. So I've seen the name a few times, but I don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah,
he's a right-handed.
He'll be up and down about a dozen times, I think. So don't. I hope don't. I wouldn't go out and buy a George Soriano jersey just quite yet.
All right. So those are the moves the Orioles have made so far.
Yeah, free agency officially starts tomorrow. So this is all
free agency starts tomorrow.
Free agent claims and your own players type stuff.
Based on cleaning up some stuff this week, signing Albernaz right away, and announcing that this week. Are you feeling the same way I am about the Orioles, that we're going to make a splash early?
Yeah.
Like if we're signing a big name, we're doing it in November, December.
I would think so, Josh, because you're right. Other people are still looking for their managers. The Orioles are getting right on this. The next step is for Albernaz to kind of fill his staff. I imagine that's going to happen next week or two.
Yeah.
To bring in his own guys. And then, so I think in keeping with this, clearly we don't want to be left on the outside looking in. Clearly, the ownership group doesn't want to be left on the outside looking in. In some ways, if you think about it, this losing season, Josh, could be one of the best things that happened to us, right? We get a new manager. No, let's be honest. Neither of us really liked Hyde to begin with.
No.
Well, it gives us a new manager we like.
Hyde.
And if the Orioles kept winning, he never would have been fired. So we get a new manager we like. Also, like losing can be a wake-up call to the ownership group to say, okay, Mike Elias, I know you want to do this maybe without spending money, but hey, listen, just based on what happened last year, we need to spend money. And so it might be kicking the pants to actually do something and spend money. So maybe it feels like, I'm with you, Josh, it feels like a sense of urgency around this whole organization. And so something could happen pretty quickly.
I think we sign a big name before the end of this month.
Yeah.
Which
you got some names you want to throw out there? I have a name.
I've got a guy. I was
Okay.
going to say you and I each pick a guy, and
Okay.
whoever gets signed with the Orioles, whoever they sign first wins. Do you have your guy?
Yeah, this is who I think is going to be our top free agent signing.
All right. I've got mine too. Hopefully
right.
we don't have the same name.
All right.
Mine is Dylan Cease.
Oh, I was going to go the pitching route as well, but I was going to go with Framber Valdez.
All right. Either one of those guys I'll be happy with. And my prediction is that Dylan Cease is an Oriole by the end of November.
Okay.
That we have something that when
That
we
would be
pull
a
around,
lot of money, big name.
when we pull around and do our Thanksgiving episode in just a couple weeks, we will be giving thanks for Dylan Cease.
All right.
And if it's Valdez, we will also be giving thanks to him.
Yeah. I think that would help solidify either of those guys our rotation. That'd be great.
Yeah.
The
I think
yeah.
there's a chance for a veteran like a Pete Alonso or
I don't see Pete Alonso.
an outfielder.
Yeah.
But I think your Orioles are going to focus on pitching.
Yeah, I wonder. Here's can I just throw a crazy theory out there?
Yeah.
Because the outfielders that are out there are somewhat. I mean, there's Kyle Tucker and there's Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. The Bellinger's the one. That's the only exciting one to me.
Well, I would rather have Kyle Tucker than Bellinger.
Okay. All right. Then
Yeah.
I'll give you him too.
Okay. But I think that's kind of the list of kind of great outfielders
Okay.
in free agency.
Now remember, Cody Bellinger also plays first base.
Okay, so can we have 4 first basemen?
No, but we'd love to have a bunch of first basemen so we could get rid of some of them.
Josh, the
Where are you going?
yeah, I want to throw out a different idea though, because
Ramon Laureano.
no, I'm going to throw out a name for center field that's going to blow your mind. Okay,
Center field.
yeah, stay with me now.
He is not in the organization currently.
He is an organization. I think we do this in house. Okay.
Are you ready to bring him up already?
No, I'm not. I'm not calling anybody up either. We got this on the roster in house right now.
So you're just bumping Colton over.
No, Colton Cowser cannot be your everyday. Like he needs to platoon
All right.
with Tyler O'Neill and Jeremiah Jackson over there.
All right. So who's on the roster that you're comfortable at center field?
All right. He's never played center field before. We're just gonna try it out.
Jorge Mateo is no longer on the roster.
I know, but teams do this. Teams take
All right.
infielders.
Who are we gonna try out?
Josh, what about Jackson Holiday?
He's too small.
He's too small. He's as tall as Cedric Mullins. We know too small. He's got a better arm than Cedric Mullins.
Jackson Holiday has never played the outfield.
He can play it, Josh. People do this all the time. They take athletic shortstops and infielders and they put them to center field. How many center fielders, outfielders started as shortstops or infielders and they just moved them
Not in the majors. They were shortstop in high school and maybe college because that's where your best players are. Jackson Holiday is not going to go to center field where he will not touch the ball as much as he is in the infield. I just Googled Jackson Holiday center field to see if he's ever played it, and no story comes up.
Didn't Jackson Chorio, didn't he? I feel like he was an infielder and just in the majors jump into the outfield because the Brewers need an outfielder.
This is even more ridiculous than me saying hire Adam Jones as manager.
Because if you do it, Josh, if you just try it out.
All right.
If you just try it out, all of a sudden it opens you up to a free agent second baseman or third baseman because Westy can do second or third. And there's a lot more better players as second or third than just looking for a center fielder. So it's just an idea I want to throw out there.
I found someone that agrees with you. I don't know. Where am I even at?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking credit like this is my idea. I heard this when I was listening to WBL radio when they had the Craig Albernaz interview. He was talking before the interview and he mentioned this idea. And I was like, I don't think that's a terrible idea.
It's not a horrible idea.
I'm just throwing it out there as an option because then you could add because our infield's kind of stuck right now with the players.
It is stuck. Is it time for Bradfield?
No.
For center field. You don't think he can come up yet?
No way.
Because he doesn't have the bat.
He doesn't have the bat. And Cowser doesn't have the bat. Cowser strikes out too much.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a fourth outfielder right now, Cowser.
All right.
I want him platooning with O'Neill until O'Neill gets hurt, and then Jeremiah Jackson in the outfield. And we have Beavers on the other side, and I'm okay. And if you can get Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger, Okay,
Somehow
let's
you
rock
took
and roll.
a stupid idea and you somehow made me sit here and start to think about it.
Just
and
think
be
about it. He's athletic enough to do it. Yeah, playing outfield is not that hard. Jorge Mateo played outfield. I mean, there's a reason you put Heston Kjerstad and DJ Stewart and all these terrible athletes out there in the outfield. And Jackson Holiday is an elite athlete.
Was
He
Jackson
could play
Holiday
center.
really ranked as the third worst defensive second baseman in the American League?
That's the other thing. His second base metrics are not good.
No, they're not.
So you could be getting a defensive upgrade.
All right, let's try it.
I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Jackson's got that whole facility. He spent all last season eating ground beef. If he spends all off season taking fly balls, his dad and him can work out there. You can get the best center fielder coaches out there.
Yeah, his dad was an outfielder.
He's fast. It's all center field is all about that first step, that first jump. Jackson Holiday's has
He's
that
got
down.
speed, arm strength, baseball instincts.
All right. I like it.
All right.
I like your idea. I'll give it to you. You convinced me.
All right,
like
we got
it.
a new center fielder.
Because
we don't have to worry about and then the outfield's kind of set. And we don't need to get a free agent out.
No, you're right. And you got me because of how there is no flexibility in our infield. And when you go through, we have a crowded infield that would help out.
Yep. And then we can look at Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman, Eugenio Suarez, Gleyber Torres. So we can just more options.
Yeah. The door definitely opens.
So just think about it. All right. Just think about
it. I think you're onto something.
Are there any other you mentioned?
Maybe I'll make a TikTok and steal your idea.
Okay. You mentioned Dylan Cease and I mentioned Fremmer Valdez. Those are the top two. And listen, it's going to be hard to get the top pitching because every team wants starting pitching, and the Yankees will go after him. The Phillies will go after these guys. Like there's going to be Blue Jays will probably go after a starting pitcher. Like teams with deep pockets are going to be going after these pitchers. So we're going to have to pay top dollar. There's no discounts for the top pitchers in the market. And it's going to be long-term, big money deals. Are there any other players, Josh, you look at that where you're like, where should go?
Michael Lorenzen. Michael Lorenzen. I think he's not a top end, but I think we've seen good stuff out of him. Wade Miley's still pitching. I'm seeing him on the list here. I know who I want. I want the guy I want Michael Soroka.
Oh, stop it.
I want him in my bullpen.
No, you don't.
No.
Okay.
Something's up with Michael Soroka, seriously, because he was a good pitcher in Atlanta. And something happened. He's only 28 years old.
Yeah. All right.
And he hasn't been the same since.
All right. So maybe Norfolk is a good destination for him. Here's a guy I like. And here's a good, I think there's a connection here too. I mean, if we want to go.
Oh, there's a reliever I think we could sign in the next 3 weeks. If you're talking relievers.
No, I was talking first baseman.
All right. Go first.
And there's a connection because he used to play for the Guardians with Craig, and he played with Seattle, a good leader on that team, Josh Naylor. I loved him the way he jumped up to try to break up a double play and did some kind of hidden ball trick earlier in that game. He just seems like a gamer. Plays the game really hard and seems like a good he's one of those culture.
He's one of those baseball guys.
Yeah. And he's a good player. He'd be an upgrade at first base over Ryan Mackhouse, certainly. And so I like the idea of Josh Naylor as our everyday first baseman.
All right.
When
you talk about guys connected, and we talked about how we need an 8 and 9 inning guy, do you think it's time for the return of Sir Anthony Dominguez?
Oh yeah, I'd be good with that.
I would love that move. Yeah. I think we saw him go to Toronto and pitch excellent.
Yeah.
So he gets there. He gets that experience of getting in postseason and World Series pitching, big games, big moments. Bring him back.
Yeah. Do you know who I also like as a return? I've always liked this guy, and so this is
Hunter
my
Harvey?
bias getting in the way. Another former Oriole who I think
Who are you going with?
A former Oriole who classic case of high top draft pick, going to be a stud, too many injuries, and then leaves Baltimore and gets his act together. But now in the bullpen, Hunter Harvey.
That's what I just said. I knew you were going Hunter
did you?
Harvey.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
Hunter
trying to
Harvey.
think, and I was like, you're either going Hunter Harvey or you're going like Danny Coulomb. But Hunter Harvey
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
the guy.
Coulomb. I don't think that would be a bad move either to bring
No.
Coulomb back.
No, he's just a little older.
Yeah.
I like,
But I don't think he ever relied on like super hard velocity, so I think he might age well.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting options like that for our bullpen.
The other bullpen arm I like, while we're talking bullpen arms, is we got Albert Suarez to get his brother Robert Suarez, and Robert Suarez, if we got him, I mean he could be our closer. That's closer stuff.
Yeah, no, that's closer stuff.
Yeah, he had 40 saves last year with San Diego, so Robert Suarez I think would be a great pickup.
I agree.
So I think there are options.
There's options out there.
Spend money.
Yeah, and let's see. I think this offseason we could see the Orioles making news every couple weeks.
Yeah. How many big free agent signings for you to be satisfied that Mike Elias did his job, Rubenstein did his job, they opened up the purse string? Like how many? If they sign, Dylan Cease, is that enough for you?
If it's all right. If it's top tier, like top 5.
Because Dylan Cease, he was going to be making as much money as anybody this free agent.
Dylan Cease, and I also think you sign a big name like Dylan Cease, that puts the depth of our rotation, pushes into the bullpen, which helps everyone.
Yeah.
Because we talk about these 8-9 slot, that could easily be Tyler Wells. Either one of those slots.
Well, that's
true.
He's
got the arm for it.
It's true, Josh. And when we sign starting pitchers, and hopefully they stay healthy, that's guys like Chase McDermott can go to the bullpen.
Yep.
Trevor Wells can go to the bullpen.
Tyler.
Maybe even certainly Suarez can go to the bullpen.
And who's the kid? Who's that young guy who looks like he's 16?
What, Brandon Young? I don't know who you're talking about.
Hold on. Orioles rotation.
Chase McDermott? Cade Povich?
Povich is
Shady?
the guy. Yeah, Povich.
Yeah, Albert Suarez or Povich can move to the bullpen.
So that's why I'm saying if you sign Dylan Cease, that's enough for me. I'm happy. If it's not Dylan Cease, I need 2. Give me a reliable starter and give me a bat, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
But Dylan Cease, and I'm great.
All right. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with that. If you give me like Framber Valdez and then a Hunter Harvey, or even better, a Robert Suarez, I think you'd be good with that. Or if you're not at the top tier, give me kind of 2 guys from right below that list, and I could get behind that too. Yeah, I could buy that. So,
all right.
But yeah, chance to get, and then we haven't explored it yet,
Yes.
and we haven't talked about it. But there's also the trade route,
And
where you could take on more money and sell it for 2 of you.
and we could easily do that.
Yeah. What I don't want to hear about is, big payroll increases because of arbitration. I don't want to hear about that. Even though I know there will be some payroll increases that way as well.
And I don't want to hear fear of a lockout.
Yeah, for not doing a long-term deal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to hear any of that.
Yeah.
When does free agency open?
Tomorrow. Hey,
Tomorrow.
Mike Elias had a great quote. I wrote this down because he said the W word, and he never says the W word. Here's a quote from Mike Elias. Mike Elias said, "We believe," this time about Craig. Craig Albernaz, "We believe he is the right person at the right time to elevate our baseball operations and guide our team back to the playoffs and a World Series championship." Usually Mike Elias just talks about wanting to make the playoffs, but here he mentioned the World Series.
I like that.
So that's a good mentality too, Mike. Like that.
And don't forget, there are a few players in Japan that the talk is they're moving over next year as well.
Okay.
After we saw the great success in the Dodgers. So that could be a place the Orioles go as well.
Yeah, I haven't paid much after Rookie Sasaki. I haven't paid much attention to that, but
there's a couple big bats, and then there's a pitcher.
Okay. I assume all the good ones will be Dodgers, but maybe we can get
the Dodgers say they've made all their money back from the $700 million in 1 year, so they can sign them all apparently.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I'm curious. It's going to be interesting what some teams do. The Dodgers, the Yankees both have. I mean, the Yankees have I mean, just think about their staff of um, Max Fried and Garrett Cole and the other guy that they signed, the lefty that I want the Orioles to sign. Like, just the money they got tied up in starting pitching, and the money. Like, I just wonder. I mean, I hope maybe some of these big teams have so much money tied up that maybe they won't be.
Yeah, maybe they'll be a little hesitant. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe it's
maybe
our
they'll
turn.
leave a little bit of room for us mid-market teams to have some fun. I don't know. Maybe that's being too.
Oh, you think we're
naive, though.
mid-market?
Yeah, it's
Small market.
Small market. But I mean,
All right.
Rubenstein talks like we're mid-market.
Well, let's get out of here
All right, let's
on
go
that,
here.
and we'll try to get back to being more regular.
Yeah,
think
that's
we
always the
can-
goal.
we
Because
can figure out the
more
schedule.
regular. Yeah, I have some because I've been brainstorming about some ideas too, unrelated to baseball that we really didn't have time to get into. I had this groundbreaking idea about ice cubes. Next show I want to share with you. That's just a little teaser. Ice cubes haven't really gone anywhere in a while. I want to take
Okay.
ice cubes to a different level, so we'll talk
All
about
right,
that next.
we'll make ice
Yeah.
cubes great again.
Yeah, but well, I don't know. Great again.
No, you don't like that market in?
Better than
'Cause
ever.
Ice cream was ice cubes was pretty good in like the 30s or whenever it was invented.
Yeah.
Before that, everyone had to drink warm drinks.
when they were more rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now people take for granted.
When you
Yeah,
needed the
exactly.
ice cube to make your freezer work. You know,
Yeah.
where they take the giant one and stick it in
Yeah.
there?
Or they had the separate kind of ice house.
Yes.
Special just for the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was
Now
special
we all
times.
just, don't care.
Yeah. All right. Let's get on that. If you like us, if you like the show and you want us to do it more, well, then help us by spreading the news and writing a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Tell your friends about the show. Send Josh nasty emails when we don't record for a couple weeks, or join our. I still have this on my
Matt,
phone, our Discord, and
you wanna-
tell
you
us
wanna
on
know-
Discord to record.
I have one fun story before we get out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm with this.
12 years ago, I believe we were a year into Section 336, maybe 2 years into
That sounds
Section
2 years.
336.
Yeah.
I sent an email to section336@gmail.com. And I said, hey, man, I'm not sure if you use this email or anything. I can't really see it tied to anything. Would you mind if I could have this email address?
Okay.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
Never responded to me.
Probably because you didn't ever check it. Yeah.
Yesterday, I got a response.
No way.
Yesterday, I got a response saying,
After 12 years of response?
he said, sorry, this is a little late. You can have this email. Here's the password.
That's wild.
So he has to turn off the 2-factor so I can get into it. But 12 years later, he emailed me and said, you can have this
Is this
password.
going to be our new email account?
Only if I can really get into it. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
But right now, you can
Over-
send all your complaint emails by going to section336.com, and there's a feedback spot there.
Oh, yeah.
There's also a donation spot if you want to help us out financially,
Yeah. We'll take both.
or
All
just
right,
an
boys and
easy way
girls.
to share the show.
Yeah. Josh, are the Ravens fixed real quick? Are they better? Are they fixed? Or
Yeah,
are they
the Ravens are fixed.
Okay, good.
So is my fantasy football team.
Yeah. So if I were to go with the Ravens on my survivor pool this week to beat the Vikings, what would you rate your confidence level to beat the Vikings?
Yeah, this is a good week to take the Ravens.
They play the Jets and Browns next, but
Yeah,
there's
but-
there's no
you're-
other good games from this week.
Yeah, but you're going to have to look at the next week.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't picked the Jets or the Browns yet, you're not going to pick them against the Ravens.
I know, but they're playing each other this week, so I'm actually tempted to play the Browns after the Jets trade away some of their players.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gotta get out of here. All right, boys and girls. Thanks for listening.
Play the Browns this week because you can pick the Ravens when they play the Browns. There's no way Joe Flacco is going to come in and beat them.
I know. I just don't like the idea of losing my survivor pool in the Browns.
I understand.
I'm just trying to live with week to week. All right, boys and girls. Thanks for listening. And as always, go O's. Go Ravens.